which means if you have a question, wait till the end, okay, y'all? So we're recording. So here we go. So first off is your septum. You'll just do that middle part. And then what you'll do is you'll kind of make those wingtips. The wingtip that just ends. And sometimes it's a higher arc, sometimes it's a lower arc. Look at your picture when you do this, okay? Obviously, you want to make those wingtips match as best as you can, depending on the angle that you took it at. So that's first line is the septum, second lines are the wings, third line, or third set of line, is your nostrils. Now, the hard line that you see here is what you want to draw, and then all this other stuff is like softness, because it's not like a separation in body parts, it's just a difference between highness and lowness on your face. Okay, so here I'm going to start with my little parentheses, and you'll notice that the tip of the or the edge of the nostril lines up with the edge of that line. So I'm going to go make my marks, get it close. Okay, and that's nostril edge. It's not bad. Number 1, same thing here. Nostril edge. Hold on. Number 2. Okay, so that's where you're starting. And then what you're going to do is all the rest of the stuff is just like shading. Where'd that thing go? Here we go. So, blending stump. This is going to start to become important. If you have not rolled up a piece of paper for yourself, and or if you don't have a blending stump, just roll a piece of paper so you get something that can get into corners and smudge out some of your graphite. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to apply some value right for the nostril part, right where it's darkest. So I'm going to get a little bit of value just underneath, not a lot, otherwise it'll look like you have snot coming from your nose. And I'm taking the side of my blending stump and I'm pulling down a little bit of value. Keep in mind, I got to keep it kind of light right where you can see the front of the skin also. So that's side number 1. And all this is just smoke and mirrors, just making sure we're creating illusions. So dark next to light.
Miss Benedict, can you use a Q-tip?
Yeah, you could. Know what I would do actually? Pull the cotton off the tip of the Q-tip, and then you'll have a firm piece of paper to rub things around. That's a very good idea. Okay, so then I'm going to do this bit right here, pulling down some of that value. I'm going to get a little bit of shadow underneath the septum because we want to make sure that it looks like it's coming off the face. And it's kind of doing a little bit of a triangular shape. So if you see a triangle, do a triangle. Draw what you see, not what you think you see. And again, you can always add more graphite later, but don't add a ton. You can always kind of ease up. You can ease up on your application. All right, and then what I'm going to do is for the side of my nostrils, I'm going to put a little bit of material or graphite on the outside of those parentheses. And I'm going to take the side and I'm just going to do little baby circles and then push it up and down. And I want to just make it look like this is higher and this is lower and that's behind. I'm going to start to take some of my excess and pull that graphite up in the shape. Now with your nose, it gets narrower and it gets very narrow right in between your eyes, and then above your eyes is when that shadow starts to kind of splay out and go out. It doesn't get wide in between your nose, it gets wide above your eyes, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to do that on the same side, or I'm sorry, the other side. And then, yeah, because you just want to make that illusion that that nose is getting skinnier. Now, you don't want to leave this plain stark white. It's going to make it really, really flat. So So what you're going to do to make it less flat is you're going to take the tiniest bit, and I might even use whatever excess I have here, and just on the inside of those hard lines is I'm going to follow, because I want to leave the tip of my nose, I want to leave that light. I want to leave that light because it's coming out the furthest, so we need to make it a little bit more pointy, or prominent rather. And then on the side here, I'm going to make it a little darker. Onto the rest of the face, and that's where you can figure all that other stuff out. And then you saw in the video the Cupid's bow. In the other video, you saw the Cupid's bow on how to pull that down from all this other stuff. Okay? And that is how you make a nose.